Warning! Not Bruce is still here. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Gotham, Season 3, Episode 2. Burn the Witch. Got it. I'm your host, Dom. With me is John and Nikki.
Hi,
how's it going?
It's pretty good.
Yeah?
A couple things not so good.
No? Like what?
Oh, I don't know. Jim sucking face with every significant female character on this show.
Okay. And?
That.
And what else?
Well, we discussed that. We didn't want him to be like, oh, I'm miserable and drowning my sorrows in alcohol. Let me just bang this chick because she's showing any sort of interest in me.
He didn't bang her yet.
Yet.
They cut to black.
Yet.
That's close enough.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure clothes came off as soon as the cameras went away.
Exactly.
I don't know. I think Penguin popped up in the middle for, to reward Jim.
Uh-huh. And then Lee
Fabulous
came back.
formation.
Why did Lee come back? Why? She could have stayed away. It's fine. It was fine. It was fine without her.
Yeah, she was doing great. She looked happy.
Mm-hmm.
I just miss Jim.
Lucius is doing a great job doing whatever the fuck he's doing there. So they don't need Lee anymore. He's got both Nigma and Lee's jobs covered.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I don't know why she's back. I guess
for conflict.
I miss
just
Jim.
To cause drama.
What I'm hoping for is that Lee turns into Barbara now. That every ex-wife of Jim goes psycho. Or ex-girlfriend of Jim goes psycho.
She just goes completely apeshit.
Yeah, I mean we saw Barbara this episode, right? Right.
And last episode, I don't think we're not gonna not ever
right. But I mean,
Barbara
we saw
now.
her
She's
still be
dynamic
infatuated with Jim. She's still over the moon for him. And she's still trying to get in his pants. She's trying to get any affection she can out of him.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think she does that more now to try and pester him and bother him than... Yeah, she still has feelings for him, but I think she's over the top because it annoys the fuck out of him. Like, he's going crazy because she's the one that is... I don't know. She's just pushing buttons, and she knows she can, so she does it.
Yeah, I mean, and then she regaled Jim with that awkward dream of I saw you had a dream and your legs were broken and you're back to hell, and it's
I was pushing in the wheelchair.
It was yeah, bye Barbara.
Later, Gator.
Yeah, I mean, and I like that because she's not I think you're right. I think she is just trying to creep him out, get under his skin a little bit.
But see, now I think the whole reason that the Jim and Valerie are hooking up is because Barbara saw them, right? And she's already thinking something's wrong, but now Jim denied it. So now if something's going on with them and Barbara finds out, she's going to be like, you lied to me. And it's going to cause problems.
Of course.
So I kind of think that's what's going on with this right now. And then we have Lee coming back. We see her getting off the train. We never found out why she left, right? We didn't get a real explanation. She just left, and it was an off-screen leave, word of mouth from Harvey, and it wasn't a satisfying exit for the character. So
no,
I'm glad she's back, even though I may not have liked the character, to just get some answers.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't want to see another season of women fighting over Jim.
You don't want a big harem for Jim, all at once? He has a nice big orgy with the three of them?
This is not Tenchi Muyo. The world doesn't work like that.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I just like because they kind of did that with Barbara and Lee last season,
Mhm.
and that's enough.
I mean,
You know.
Valerie even brought it up. She's like, "So you're the girl who,
Yeah.
tied them up and shit and fell out the window and ended up in the crazy house because of this." And it's like,
But the more and more that I see Barbara, like, with the insanity, and everything between last episode and this one, I just, like, I can't help but see a female Joker in her, and I really, really want that to be true. Like, that would be
Yeah.
fantastic.
yeah,
And I'm not even talking about Harley Quinn. Like, no, I don't want her to be Harley Quinn. I want her to be the Joker. And I think it would be fantastic. And if you go back in when we covered season 1, and if you watch like our first 6 episodes, I would slap myself right now if I heard myself say that I wanted Barbara to be the Joker.
we
So
wanted Mooney to be the Joker.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
it's crazy because the more and more I'm loving her character more and more as time goes on. I never in a million years thought this, and then.
No, the first season, Barbara was just a terrible character, and maybe it was part of the actress' fault and like writer's fault. Like just together, they just didn't seem to mesh. But now they've definitely, you know, she is a dynamic character, and she is actually, interesting now.
She's fantastic. But what is also interesting to me is the group here that we have going. John's been waiting for them forever. Like, I kept noticing all like owl motifs and everything last season showing up, and here we are. Finally with the Court of Owls, still unnamed. Right, we still haven't named them in the show. But I think everybody at home, all the promo stuff, we know it's the Court of Owls. Like, there's
Yeah.
no way around it. And we got introduced to one of the members, Catherine, this episode, and she's on the board of directors, right? Is that the same lady that was sitting at the board of directors, or is this just somebody else that shows up at the company?
No, but Bruce said
She's
he's
not the
seen her
girl that was
before.
sitting at the table with the curl in her hair last episode.
I don't think so.
The one that was sitting next to the guy that was like very disrespectful to Bruce.
I I wasn't paying attention that much.
I mean, I could be completely confusing them, but it seems similar to me. So
I don't think because I remember Bruce saying like I saw you once at like a party or a function.
right,
Like he passed by her because I think if it was like a board member, he would have been like, "You're on the board."
yeah,
Yeah.
I am glad that they didn't like show their hand completely. I was a little worried they're going to be like, "Oh, I have you now, and here is my evil plot," la 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 la, and
yeah.
lay all that out. I think it's a little weird that she showed her face to him.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was thinking.
I was,
Like, I don't think that was necessary.
I don't know. I think they're really underestimating Bruce right now because she didn't. She's like, you threatened the information. Where is it? And he's like, I didn't say I had it. He's like, it was just, coincidental until now. And she's like, ooh, clever boy. It's like, what? You're supposed to be this like overlooming freaking organization that's running everything, and you couldn't figure this out. You couldn't just, have an inkling of like he might be trapping us in this.
Yeah, and Baby Batcat Fanatic in chat says he also said she was in the house. So I think like the parties and stuff that they would have, she's come into the house before, probably a lot when Thomas was still alive.
The one-room house.
Yeah.
The one-room mansion. No, there's 2 rooms. There's 2
Yep.
and a hallway.
They were in the kitchen today.
We were in the kitchen. Yeah, that's
We've
true.
been in the kitchen before.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
there's the staircase in the foyer. Remember that Alfred got jumped in like the first season, right?
Right.
So there's 2 rooms, a staircase, and a hallway in this mansion. That's it.
It's starting to become a mansion, slowly but surely.
Right. But Catherine, I don't understand the whole point of the meeting. Like, they traded Bruce's life for... Like, Bruce demanded to meet them, and then they decided to trade Bruce's life for him to stop investigating the organization, stop investigating Indian Hill, stop investigating all the corporate corruption that's going on and his parents' murder, right? So they won like completely on this, and Bruce got nothing out of it. Like I
He's
don't.
not gonna stop. Come on. Now that no, not Bruce is around.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's what I'm thinking is
Hmm.
with not Bruce breaking into the mansion, right? Now Bruce said he was gonna stop, and that doesn't mean that not Bruce can't investigate. That doesn't mean Alfred can't investigate. You know,
Hmm.
he can't. He never agreed on any of their part. And I think the whole point of this clone and whatever it is, what it's gonna come out to be, is they're gonna kill it. The Court of Owls is gonna kill it, thinking that they killed Bruce.
Hmm.
You know, I think
Yep.
that's 100% the only purpose of this clone.
And then they're gonna be having us like hang there. Be like, they're gonna show because they're gonna prune him. They're gonna make not Bruce look like Bruce,
Yep,
and
100%.
they're and then a Bruce is gonna die, and they're just gonna leave it hanging over the season finale and somewhat into the next season,
No
like
way.
making us think like,
No.
is that not Bruce or is that Bruce? Is that
No.
not Bruce or is that
The
Bruce?
mid-season finale at most. It's not gonna go.
It's still gonna be hanging over our heads for a
The
few more episodes after it happens.
Yeah, it's not gonna go
Yeah.
for. I don't see the clone lasting the whole season. Like, it could, but I don't see it
I just
happening.
see that
It would
arc
get old
happening.
quickly.
I
Yeah.
see the arc happening, and
Yeah.
that's just
No, I'm 100% with you. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so bizarre that the Court of Owls are supposed to, like, their power is their anonymity,
Mhm.
and now I mean I guess the fact that Bruce could basically have just been dreaming all that up is like one thing where it's like he might barely remember her face, like, because it was a very rushed sequence and he was like immediately chloroformed. So, you know,
Now,
I,
I'm
it's
I'm not the only one that thinks that's where the Robin mask comes from, right? They're gonna take that mask, right? Is anybody thinking that?
um, eh, yeah. I mean, they basically it was like he was a Talon without them saying that he was a Talon.
Yeah, but that mask looks like the one that
I mean, it's
Robin
basically
uses in what Batman Forever.
pretty much is, yeah.
You know,
Well, I mean, to be fair, there was a point where Dick Grayson was actually supposed to be a Talon.
right?
So,
So they could
that's a
introduce a young Dick Grayson in the Court of Owls. That could
Yeah.
be a thing.
yeah, we met his parents already last season, I think it was. So,
Yeah.
could be a baby, little baby Robin floating around.
Yeah. But speaking of babies, we no longer have one on Ivy. She's all grown up.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yeah. I saw her and I was like, damn, so awesome. I was so excited.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how they were gonna play her off because, we're sitting there like kind of like, well, her name is Ivy, but she's not fitting that character yet. Everybody else is falling into their groove and she's just sitting there. She's just a one-off character, it seems like. No, 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 no. She's good now. She's good.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like Miss Ivy, Miss Poison Ivy. And she's fucking crazy to boot.
See, I like the little girl that played Poison Ivy. I thought she was adorable. Like I
Mhm.
thought, it was fantastic and all that. And I actually feel kind of bad because like it's at that point when like she's a child actor. I know she understands what's going on and everything with it, but it's like all these other child actors that she's made friends with that are on the set. Bruce and Selena and them. She's gone now. Like there's no way they could really bring her back.
Flashbacks, they can bring her into the series still. But I mean, you can only do so much with Poison Ivy flashbacks.
Yeah, like she was never a full part of she was never a strong part of the show. Like it's
No.
great that the character is getting that attention now, but like if they did the same thing to Bruce, right, and then they got another actor to play Bruce, we wouldn't be happy about that.
No.
No.
Same thing with Selena, right? Can you guys imagine somebody else in this role now? Like, I get that Ivy was such a low totem pole character that that's what makes it okay. But, I just feel bad for the child actor is my point, It's like,
Yeah.
you think you had this role secured and it's gone.
Well, like, I do feel bad for the actress, the child actress, but I mean, they built up the situation so much that it is explained, and I completely can accept it.
Oh, me
Like,
too, 100%. I
Yeah.
love the direction it's going. Like,
yeah,
the guy that helps her when she washed up on shore, and he comes home to like the mistreated plants and just starts throwing them away, and she like flips out and kills them. Like, I love that.
said
Mm-hmm.
my wife left them, and I just don't know how to take care of them.
They're just plants.
They're just
It's-
plants.
As soon as he said that, I was just like, uh-oh.
Yeah,
Uh.
'cause the way she's like, it's so sad. Oh, it's a sad plant.
What is her obsession with plants? Because she had plants growing up. We've seen this before. She had some, but we never had the indication that she was like over the top obsessed with them.
Well, if you think
until
about
now.
it, she was somehow chemically aged. And, her brain hasn't really caught up to that point, so she's going to obsess about something. And, I mean, plants, she's just not all there.
We saw her growing them in
Yeah.
like her apartment. It's something she had interest in for sure, but I
Definitely.
never saw an obsession with her with them. Like,
No.
so that's the only thing. It feels like a little weird is that gap that's missing right now is where this triggered from. Like, yeah, I get that she
Right.
had some like weird chemical like magical alteration kind of thing, but it still is not giving me her love for plants in there.
Right. I mean, they kind of like, oh, she's a weird little girl who likes plants. And then they kind of just dropped it. And then they told instead of showed in this episode, which was a little lazy on their part. But
I don't know. Maybe I'm just filling the blanks myself because I love
yeah. I mean,
I love the character in general, like just all over the map.
Unfortunately, that's the only option you have right now is to fill the blanks yourself. I'm just pointing out the fact that there's big gaps that I would have appreciated if they filled in along the way, and I think it would have been a better transition.
It's episode 2.
Yeah, but it's too late to go back to
little
Ivy.
up.
I'm saying if they'd spent last season showing Ivy obsessed over plants and growing them and wherever she was and like taking care of plants and like she's on the rooftop and there's withered plants and she's pruning them and watering them and like obsessing over them in the middle of like a conversation with Selena or Bruce, like then I totally get this like right now where she stands, but we had none of that. And it's just it's a weird transition. I accept it because we know she's Poison Ivy. I get that we didn't see everything and we have to make some assumptions at this point. I just feel it was a little sloppy at this point. And what I honestly feel like is what happened is they didn't have any plans to do this to Selena as quickly, Ivy as quickly as it happened. It probably just over the course of between season 2 and 3 they decided, hey, let's push Ivy as a villain and do this, and unfortunately there wasn't a lot of backstory set up to her character previously, so.
Yeah.
I think I'd just chalk it up to Marv aged her from, 8 to 10 years. And she did it over 12 hours, not over years. So there's development issues in the way her brain thinks. And she has to fill the block somehow. And the thing that she loved the most was plants at that point when she was younger. So
she did say her mother left, her father was killed by the cops. Like, we know she's got issues. We know this already.
Yeah.
So
those are things she remembers, but she has that, 8 to 10 year gap in her head. She has to fill it somehow.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense if you extrapolate a little bit. You just like, oh, okay, she lost her parents, and then she attached to the nearest thing she had, which was her plants.
Yeah.
And that's why she's so obsessed with it. I mean, it makes. That's why I said they told instead of showed.
Yeah.
Because they could have showed us that a little more. And
I see.
Cool.
I see her. Catching up with Mooney and Hugo. I see her catching up, and then them figuring something out because she's the experimental like aftershock of Marv, and Marv is one of Hugo's creations, and it's just like she's gonna end up back in Strange's arms, and they're going to figure something out.
Well,
And then she's going to
you
be
have Mooney
poison
now,
ivy.
right? Mooney's dying, right? And
Yes.
she's looking for a way to survive. She wants to live, and she goes and kidnaps Bullock and has him like mind controlled. Brings her to Strange, who's in like another mansion that's really a prison, and the whole thing is Strange is like, look, I can't help you as much as I want to help you. I can't. Like, there's no way to help you. That's it. You're done. Like, you're going to die. And she won't accept that. I think you're right. I think what it's going to come down to is Ivy is going to play a key factor into this, and it's going to be like herbal remedies and stuff like that is going to help Strange and her, because she's going to not only just have a love for growing plants. We're going to find out that she's going to adapt some powers through Strange's experiments and stuff too, where she gets abilities with plants. So
Yeah.
that's what we were saying last week. That probably, if anyone's going to do it, probably Strange is going to be the one.
Yeah, and I think in return she's going to be able to help Fish and Strange.
She wants an army.
Yeah.
The reason Poison Ivy can't be part of it.
Well, do we remember what Fish's DNA was mixed with? Because we know it was cuttlefish.
Cuttlefish.
But there was other stuff. Cuttlefish wasn't the only thing. There was
a
at
pencil
least,
eraser?
Maybe. I don't know. There's at least one or two other things. But I know cuttlefish was like the main thing.
The cuttlefish is the one that allows her to have the touch and the manipulation part. That's the main thing we're seeing right now. So
right. So I don't know. But in the meantime, we had Barnes and Gordon like trying to set up this whole thing to get Harvey out. What was that, Joe?
They were locking horns.
Oh yeah.
Barnes annoys me all too hell right now. He's compensating for his gimped leg. He doesn't need to.
And I was just like, when he's sitting there talking to Fish and the whole thing about, do not bring any police officers in here or I will shoot him on. I go, okay, send Jim in. Like, that's the first thing. Jim's not a police officer. Just send him through the door.
That's why Jim was like, I'm doing it. He didn't even tell anybody. He just walked in.
Yeah.
Fish couldn't do anything. She's like, I'm going to kill you, but you know what? You're right. You're not a thing anymore.
I mean, he had to prove himself because it's like, look, if Barnes would just be happy with you dead and Harvey's agreeing with this, then you serve no purpose for me. I can shoot you right now. So she's like, show your worth. You have 2 minutes. And, he had to concoct a plan to get him out. But in the meantime, we had Penguin. And Penguin this episode was rallying this mob, like, through the whole episode. And when he's sitting there under the bridge and he's having this big speech and he's standing up on the podium thingy, it's not a real podium, but, the platform. And he's sitting there and he's rallying these people up. All of a sudden I started thinking of, Oswald Cobblepot for mayor. Like, that's all I started thinking was Batman Returns.
Yeah.
I think that's where they're heading with this.
So.
It very well could be. I mean,
because we know the mayor is pretty much incompetent right now. Yeah. Like, he's just dumb. And so anybody at this point would be better. And Penguin just happens to be able to step up.
Penguin already runs Gotham.
Yeah.
Why not actually have him run Gotham?
Well, I mean, he did murder a lot of people.
Yeah, he did.
So that may come up on the campaign trail.
Yeah.
He
might just shoot his opponent. So at this point,
I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I mean, it's just so. Again, I guess we really, because like there was like that 6-month time skip. It was hard to like really understand like, oh, so the people of Gotham really are being terrorized by these weird.
Yeah, we didn't really see much of it, so how can we?
So like, why the angry mobs? Like, we must have missed a lot in that 6 months. That like there was this huge mob of people willing to like rally under Penguin, a mob boss.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's what comes with 6 months gaps of storytelling without showing stuff. Is like the Ivy situation. It's a lot of telling instead of showing, and that's a lot harder to grasp.
Especially in a TV show format.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's a few programs out there, like TV programs, that actually do like webisodes just to help you fill the gaps a little bit. I wish more would do that, and like especially with Gotham and other superhero television shows, they can do that kind of stuff. I mean, we got the Chronicles of Cisco for the Flash.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't see why they can't just give a little.
See, and I think a lot of it too is what they don't realize with these comic book shows, because these comic book TV series it's kind of a new thing, right? It started with Arrow, I think, was the first one, right?
Yes.
And then from Arrow we went into Agents of Shield, right? And then The Flash came out, and then we had the show, and then Legends of Tomorrow, and
Supergirl.
We have all the, but what they're not realizing, and I think the CW DC shows get this the most, is the linking everything together, right? All that stuff is fantastic, right? They get all that done, and it gets people really involved in all that. But what they need to also realize is there's other media formats out there that would get people even more involved, right? You have the webisodes, right? You could do something like that. What if they even got together with DC themselves and like, hey, can we produce a Gotham comic book line? Like, pay homage right to the format that this is pulled from. To tell another character's story. Like, you could do a whole thing just for Ivy, and like, it would be fantastic,
Yeah.
Or
I'd go out and I'd buy it.
Or what happened during the 6-month
no doubt
gap
about
to
that.
explain, everything that was going on there, like between these two seasons. Like, that's when the comics could come out, is between the seasons,
And it can even just be like a webcomic if you really wanted to do it, like what Blizzard does with Overwatch.
Yeah, definitely.
It wouldn't have to be like a distributed thing either. I mean, it would just have to be quick little blurby things of 10 pages each.
A lot of the times, the videos are 2 to 3 minutes long, and that's all it takes.
You can even do web comics, like, it doesn't have to even be something you have to go out into the store to get.
Nope.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that is a main issue with the beginning of this season, is that we just don't know where we're starting at.
Yeah.
There's a lot of open ends, and it shouldn't have started out like that.
Yeah. I just think all the TV series for all the comic book stuff, I think they could benefit by showing the format, because when you're reading a comic book, most of the time, yes, you're getting the whole thing from a comic book, right? But it's usually spread out across different things. Like, Batman may cross over with Superman at some point, and then, the story, like, finishes in the Superman arc, like, you don't get the whole thing in the Batman arc. You kind of have to jump around to the different things to get, the whole picture. And I feel like that's a format that this could benefit from, is jumping around. A couple other formats, not necessarily TV shows. I would love for Gotham to cross over with Flash, Arrow, and, all those, but,
that would be interestingly difficult to explain.
Because timelines.
Yeah, timelines, dimensions. I mean, yes, you could do this being a whole, like, another planet universe thing, but I mean, still, it's difficult.
Yeah.
They do it in the Flash, and it's difficult there.
It's very true. So next week, or do you guys have anything else to talk about for this week?
Not really. I'm just really impressed with how they showed Ivy, and I'm very interested to see where they're going with it. I know we'll definitely get more background on her, because I think they are going to do a little focus on her, because why would they change her if they weren't going to do that? Barnes needs to go away. The mayor needs to go away. Jim needs to pull his fucking pants up. I mean, he's basically just wanging it all over Gotham right now.
Wow.
He don't care. He has all of the honey badgers right now.
Ooh. I think John froze. He's still with us, John?
He's contemplating. He's half, like, in agreement, and he's kind of concerned with what I'm saying at the same time. He's just, But yeah.
That could be true.
Oh, there he is. He's back.
Hi.
Hi, John.
I don't know what just happened to me.
Something about time and
Something,
dimensions.
something with one of Hugo Strange's experiments.
Yeah.
Spin it.
And Penguin's new hairstyle. It's less up front and more up top.
Mhm.
What is with that?
It's moving up.
He's like got a receding hairline now, and it looks disgusting.
He always had a receding hairline.
And that's why his hair was always up front.
Yeah.
They should have kept it that way.
Yeah.
But I mean, they have to make him look more fierce, I guess.
I don't know. I like his hairstyle. I think it's just like very unique and out there.
I just thought that was just silly to bring up, so because it has nothing to do with the series. His hairstyle, like what the hell?
So next week the episode is called "Look Into My Eyes." I'm so excited for this episode. Hypnotist Jervis Techt, aka the Mad Hatter, arrives in Gotham to search for his sister Alice, and hires Gordon to help find her. Meanwhile, Penguin decides to run for mayor. Wow. Didn't actually even read that before I made this prediction, so that's
Seriously?
That's crazy. Meanwhile, Penguin decides to run for mayor, and Bruce's doppelganger begins to channel him, causing some confusion. So
do you think they've pruned him for this episode so he looks more like Bruce?
yeah, that'd be the only way there'd be confusion. If he's still got the long hair, then people are gonna be like, okay, there's Bruce and there's not Bruce.
Not Bruce. I wonder what
They
they're
gotta
gonna
give
call
him a
him.
name.
I swear to God, if it's not Bruce, if Alfred says not Bruce, stop that. I am going to lose my shit. I am gonna be dead on the floor because that will be hilarious.
Yeah,
And you know what? I could see Alfred doing it too.
maybe.
He's just that funny.
Just let it happen.
All I know is I want Jerome back.
He's coming back. We heard his laugh at the end of last season. He's coming back.
He better be.
We'll see.
John, where can people find you?
You can find me freezing constantly at No More on Twitter.
Excellent. What a great superpower that is.
I know.
Nikki, where can the people find you?
On Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyYvenom24.
Okay. You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. And you can find us all and more on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, MySpace, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, games, and movies. Until next time. See you guys later.
Toodles.
Just for a little background, my Twitter handle has a couple reasons why it is Lady Venom. One, because of a song, and two, because of Poison Ivy.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. That's why I like Poison Ivy so much. It goes back years and years.
So if I brought you some Poison Ivy and rubbed it all over your face, you'd be happy?
The lady Poison Ivy, the DC character Poison Ivy, not the fucking plant that
Okay,
causes
so if I got
rash.
the lady Poison Ivy and rubbed her all over your face, you'd be happy?
Huh. I don't know. As long as her lips don't touch my face, I think I'll be okay.